The most powerful gun in almost any zombies map is the Wonder Weapon. Every Wonder Weapon has a unique ability that sets it apart from the rest of normal guns. Whether that's the way it looks, the bullets it fires, or the amount of ammo it has, it's usually the most desired gun in zombies. Today, I am ranking every Wonder Weapon in COD Zombies from worst to first. This is going to be a long video, so get comfortable. And with that said, there are 54 Wonder Weapons in Treyarch Zombies, and the lowest ranked Wonder Weapon is going to be the VR-11. The VR-11 is the worst Wonder Weapon in Zombies because it literally kills one zombie at a time and does no real damage. Instead, it acts as a distraction device and can lead all the zombies away from the player who shoots it. This gun is exclusive to Call of the Dead, and when you shoot it at a zombie, it literally turns that zombie into a human, attracts all the other surrounding zombies, including George Romero, and then runs away from the player. Now, obviously, this gun doesn't really do much damage, so I can't put it any higher, but it is a good way to get out of a situation like if you're stuck in a corner by many zombies. But this thing has only 12 shots unpack-a-punched. That is nothing. With that said, if you only have 2 guns, you shouldn't be rocking this. After that is the Winter's Howl, which is another trash Wonder Weapon. It barely has any ammo, and it does very little damage to zombies. It's kind of in the shape of a pistol, which is fitting because it almost does as much damage as one. Howbeit, it freezes zombies up when you shoot them, and it's definitely used more as an emergency gun rather than an actual one, similar to the VR-11. Next up is the Jet Gun. So the Jet Gun is a buildable weapon only available on transit, and not only is it a buildable, but it also acts as a buildable, just like the Trample Steam or the Zombie Shield. Since it doesn't take up a weapon slot, its value would increase, except for the fact that the gun is trash. After a few minutes of usage, this gun breaks very easily if it overheats.
This how you cut a Zancate.
And yes, I said overheats, as it doesn't have any specific ammo. Technically, it has infinite ammo like the Paralyzer, but it's a hassle to use and there are better options out there. Now, it does deal infinite damage, and I know some people may argue that if you're just good at the game, you'll know how to use it. But if it overheats once, the entire thing breaks and you have to rebuild it all over again. It's not worth it. It's only good for high rounds. However, if you're going for high rounds on transit, I will automatically assume you like putting yourself in pain. Number 51 is going to be the Tundra Gun from Black Ops 4. The Tundra Gun is a Thunder Gun 2.0 that is significantly worse than the original Thunder Gun. It's supposed to act like the Thunder Gun, but instead of blowing zombies away, it freezes them. The damage output on this gun is terrible, and it wears off very quickly. Also, at this point in time, we had been through 4 Black Ops games, and they hit us with a remade version of a Wonder Weapon with a boring concept of freezing zombies that we have seen so many times before. Similarly, number 50 is the Wunderwaffe DG Scharfschütze. This gun is also from the same exact map as the Tundra Gun. So not only did Black Ops 4 produce one worse remade version of a Wonder Weapon, it made 2, because this is a die-down version of the Wunderwaffe. It's basically the OG Wunderwaffe with a scope on it, and the electricity it shoots doesn't branch off to other zombies. You also have to ADS, so it's much more complicated, and it does a lot less damage as well. Therefore, it's a lot worse than the original Wunderwaffe. So number 49 is going to be the Kraken from Voyage of Despair, and while I'm at it, I will add the other 4 elemental Krakens at 48, 47, 46, and 45. My order is the Fire is the worst, after the original of course, and then Lightning, and then the second best is the Gas variant, but the best Kraken variant is the Water one. I don't want to spend too much time analyzing each variant because they are all closely similar. With that said, I think the concept is cool, but these are probably the worst group of elemental Wonder Weapons in zombies. Similarly, I'm going to throw up the 3 elemental variants of the Die Shockwave from D Machine. The Fire Shockwave is the worst variant, followed by the Ice and then the Gas. There is one more variant which is better than all of these, so it's going to be a little bit higher, as well as the original Shockwave. But the Fire one is the worst because it shoots one big bubble, similar to the Ice one where it freezes zombies, and the Gas one shoots out this green gas. They all do similar damage output, and I would not recommend getting any of these unless you're doing the Easter egg, because the original one is way better. If you are enjoying this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If not, keep watching and trash talk me in the comments about which gun is too low. Number 41 is the Scavenger. This is the second Wonder Weapon from Call of the Dead. It's a mix of an explosive gun, but it also has a scope on it, so it's essentially a sniper rifle. It's not that accurate, and the bullets don't even explode off impact. It takes a few seconds. Not only that, but the damage dies down pretty quickly into the higher rounds, and the gun itself isn't that fun to use. The Blundergat is the base Wonder Weapon from Mob of the Dead. You can easily just obtain it from the box, and it uniquely only has 1 bullet in the chamber. With that said, it's the base Wonder Weapon. Whether you decide to pack-punch it into the Vitrolic Withering or upgrade it into the Acid Gat, both versions are better than this one. After that is the Death of Orion from 9. It's interesting that this gun is a buildable Wonder Weapon, and you need it for the Easter egg, but 9 out of 10 times I just find myself getting it out of the box because it's way easier to just do that. Damage-wise, it's not the best, but if you you shoot a charge shot, it will make all the zombies float in the air and they'll all just pop, including tigers. I'm going to group the next 3 guns up here, which are the Cerberus variants from Mauer Toten. The worst variant is the Quintessence, aka the Diffuser, which produces 5 bullets per shot. It might sound cool until you realize you can only shoot it 12 times until you run out of ammo. The next variant is the Enlightenment, otherwise known as the Blazer. This one's better, but not the best. If you are accurate and get those headshots with Deadshot Daiquiri, you're going to have a fun time, but it's not as good as the Seeker variant, also known as the Swarm. It shoots multiple shots, and they kind of serve as these missiles towards the zombies. It does a ton of damage, and it's honestly probably the most fun to use out of the 3. Overall, I think the Cerberus variants are super underrated, and with that said, I still have yet to rank the original one. Alright, so we got the first ray gun of many, which is the Mark II-Y. The Mark II-Y is a variant on Alpha Omega, and it serves as a sort of explosive. It doesn't have that much ammo, however, the damage isn't terrible, and also it's just good at getting you out of sticky situations. After that, we got the Mark II-V, which shoots a yellow beam and also has infinite ammo. This is a cool variant for just an average zombies player who doesn't want to constantly worry about ammo. However, the damage is a little wonky. If you use it correctly though, it can be better than the Mark II-Y, you just have to conserve ammo. After that, we got the original Raygun Mark II. I think this one is more enjoyable to use. It's more universally known because it was in Black Ops 2, 3, and 4, and the 3-round burst makes killing hordes much easier and fun. After that, we got the Wolf Bow. The Wolf Bow is arguably the worst bow in Horizon-Drock. I know many will disagree with me and say that the Void and even Fire Bow are worse than this one, but once you get good at getting the Fire Bow and using the Void Bow, they're both better than the Wolf Bow. Also, the Wolf Bow makes crawlers, which doesn't make it any better in high rounds or training. I still like it for how unique it is, but sometimes it feels like I'm shooting a Nerf gun at the zombies with the Wolf Bow. That is with the uncharged shot. However, the charged shot actually deals infinite damage, so the opposite of what I was just saying. Next up, we got the KT-4 from Zetsubo no Shima. The KT-4 is pretty overlooked for its super unique design. It has a normal shot as well as a charged shot, and if you upgrade this thing into the Masamune, it's even better and really good at taking down the Thrashers, which are the bosses in ZNS. Number 29 is going to be the Raygun Mark III. The Mark III is such a great standalone wonder weapon for Garad Krovi. It's a dual-wield raygun with one half shooting a portal that slows down the zombies, and the other one which is just a normal raygun shot. But when you combine the 2 shots, you get this purple black hole that sucks in all nearby zombies. I really like the slowing down part, as it makes some parts of the Easter egg much easier, like the Valkyrie and Mangler steps. I also like the black hole effect too, because they can really help if you're stuck in a corner and you need to get out of it. Number 28 is going to be the Raygun Mark II-Z. This is another elemental raygun from Alpha Omega, and it's the purple one that shoots sort of like a shotgun at the zombies. I like this one because it's pretty effective, it kills the zombies right away, and it does a pretty good amount of damage. I don't think it has too much ammo, but it's still a cool variant to try out. The best elemental raygun, however, is the Mark II-X, which is the blue dual-wield raygun. This thing is super powerful towards zombies and bosses, it's great for getting the Easter egg done, and it's also really effective in the high rounds. I would use this if you're doing essentially anything in Alpha Omega, and if you hold the trigger down, it acts as a fully automatic gun. The electric die is the one standout variant apart from the fire, ice, and gas ones. Instead, it shoots a beam of electricity instead of a single shot. I think it does more damage, and also running with this thing is like Usain Bolt. You are so quick. I'm not sure why, but sometimes it looks like I'm moving in 2 times speed because it's that fast. Next up, we got the Alistair's Foley. Don't get me wrong, the Alistair's Foley is fun to use, but it's not ideal on a map like Dead of the Night. Now, when you upgrade this thing into the Alistair's Annihilator, it's a lot better and more fun to use. I think there are better options on the map, whether you're doing the Easter egg or even just going for a high round. Remember guys, whenever you don't know how to build a wonder weapon, there's always the Helion Salvo. Number 25 is the Ray K84, which I got a lot of heat for since I left it out of my Raygun ranking video.
Ladies and gentlemen, today Sava Spins is showing us the every single ray gun, so we're gonna rank them.
How I said the ray gun was the worst.
What is the number
ray gun
1?
In COD Zombies. Well, I kind
Has
of
to be the
lied
Ray K, right?
I mean, does this thing look like a ray gun to you? Anyways, it has 2 modes, one that shoots lasers and then one that shoots a sort of a vertex that slows down zombies. And if you pair them together, it makes a huge black hole similar to the Raygun Mark III. The next best wonder weapon is the Chryslax. The Chryslax is uniquely the only wonder weapon on this list that is a melee. Furthermore, it has a melee mode and a gun mode, but I'm honestly more invested into the melee part. That's what the gun is focused around, and of course, you don't have to worry about ammo. This thing shreds through zombies, and it basically looks like some Element 115 Cherry Fizz hammer. It's so much fun to use, and such a unique wonder weapon for the Forsaken. Next up is the Raygun. The Raygun Mark I is definitely the most controversial gun in zombies. With that said, it's also the most iconic iconic gun in zombies. The Raygun was amazing in Black Ops 1, and it was almost a go-to for most players. In Black Ops 2, there were better base guns, and also the wonder weapons did pick up. And finally, in Black Ops 3 and 4, it eventually came crashing down as it got super nerfed, and it wasn't able to keep up with the other wonder weapons in the maps, and eventually it just became a burden for Treyarch to even keep it in the final maps. Finally, it made its inevitable return in Cold War, where it was surprisingly really good. So though it has had its nerfs and buffs, the Raygun is such an iconic wonder weapon. Moving on, we got the Sliquifier. I think we can all agree that the Sliquifier is the one thing that stands out on Die Rise. For such a mediocre map, we got an incredible wonder weapon. It shoots bursts of purple radiation that the zombies slip and fall on. It does incredible damage too, and it's so much fun to use. One more thing to mention is that the Sliquifier is probably the easiest wonder weapon to build. All of the parts to build this gun are all in the same room, and some of the best wonder weapons being the easiest ones to build is an unusual reoccurring theme in every zombie game. Next up is the 3179 JGB215, aka the baby gun. The baby gun is also so fun to use, almost parallel to the Sliquifier. It turns the zombies into baby zombies after you shoot them, then after that you just run over them like they're rocks and they die. And although I don't know if it really fits the map of Shangri-La, it doesn't really matter at this point. Now, number 20 is going to be the normal Cerberus variant. This thing is so fun to use because of how accessible and easy it is to use. You shoot this thing once and there is no cool effect, there's no charge, it automatically kills the zombies. It's a little red laser that shoots and kills on impact. Next up, we got the Firebow. The Firebow does a lot of damage and it can kill zombies right on impact. When you shoot a charged shot, it impales the ground with these big rocks, and if a zombie runs over them, they die. Therefore, it's really good for high round training when you have a lot of zombies in a cluster. Coming in next, we got the Void Bow. I really admire the Void Bow for such a unique design, and especially the charge shot, where floating skulls seep around the room and kill any nearby zombie. Although they don't kill the zombies right away, and it might not be the best bow for training, it's much more effective at actually killing the zombies. For example, if you're using the Firebow to do the Easter egg, you might have a hard time killing zombies individually with it. That's where the Void Bow strives. On to the next wonder weapon, we have the Paralyzer from Buried, which did exactly what the jet gun wanted to do. When you shoot it, infinite ammo by the way, it slows down all zombies to crawling speed until finally killing them. It does take some time to actually kill the zombies, but it guarantees that you walk away safe in almost any situation. This is also the wonder weapon that you can actually fly with if you shoot it at the ground. And with that, you can go to parts of the map that you can't even access, like without buying a door or breaking a debris. This was the perfect wonder weapon for Buried, and the camping strats on this map are unbeatable. Number 16 through 13 are the 4 gauntlets of Ancient Evil. However, I'm not going to pair them all together like I did with the Krakens. I'd rather go through all of them individually because they are all super powerful. With that said, number 16 is the Hand of Gaia, the elemental green variant which shoots a row of rocks to kill the zombies. I like the building process for this gauntlet, but it's not my personal preference because it usually doesn't kill the zombies right away after shooting it. Next up, we got the Hand of Emra, or the yellow laser one. This gauntlet is really effective when you need it to be. The only downside is you need to hold it down to shoot the laser, which can result in a rapid loss of ammo. The second best gauntlet is the Hand of Karen, or the red one, at number 14. When you fire this thing, a pool of blood comes up from the ground and sucks up all the zombies. Moreover though, it really acts like a monkey bomb device where all the zombies run toward it. For high rounds, this thing is amazing. But overall, the best gauntlet is the Hand of Oranos, the blue one, which blows zombies away. Very similar concept to the Wind Staff. I like this one a lot because it's very easy to get zombies out of your face. Whether you are training, doing high rounds, or even the Easter egg, this thing will help you out with essentially anything in Ancient Evil. Moving on, we have the Die Shockwave. The Shockwave is the original version of the Die from D-Machine. That being said, it's also the best version. Treyarch was on something in Cold War because 2 times did they make the best version of a wonder weapon the base one, which is the easiest one to get. But in my eyes, they just wanted the base version to be the best and all the variants be slightly worse, maybe better in some categories, but necessary to complete the Easter egg. Aside from that though, the Die Shockwave is really powerful and notorious for knocking out an entire horde with 1 bullet. There are not many wonder weapons that can do that, but one that can do that is the Acid Gat. The Acid Gat is a buildable wonder weapon on Mob of the Dead that branches off the original Blundergat. Being on Mob of the Dead already makes it so goated, but as well as that, this thing serves as a monkey bomb and makes all zombies run towards the bullet and then blows up. It is one of the most overpowered guns you can get in zombies, and you can't really die after you shoot it. The Magma Gat is very similar to the Acid Gat, but it only appears on Blood of the Dead in Black Ops 4. Like I said, they're very similar, and it's honestly difficult to rank some of these wonder weapons when they're just so close to each other. The Magma Gat is just a little better, I think it does more damage, and it also shoots out a literal fireball. Next up, we got the Wind Staff. Even though the Wind Staff might be the least best staff, it's still an incredible wonder weapon. It's great for getting zombies out of your face, it has decent range, but what stands out to me the most is the charge that creates a sucking vortex effects that can provide a short time of protection or breathing room. It's also just a great staff for people who like to assist their team, like if you need to revive someone. Number 8 is interchangeable with the wind staff, as it's going to be the fire staff. The fire staff has an amazing blast radius, splash damage, and range, and it's good for those boxed in moments. The charge shot shoots 3 directable fireballs, and it's a great staff for people that like to dominate on the map. And it's super easy to take down the panzers with this thing. After that, we got the lightning staff. The lightning staff sort of acts like a wonder waff, as it electrocutes every nearby zombie. It's super great for running trains, especially high rounds. I would really recommend it for that. But the hands down best staff has got to be the ice staff. It has really good range, really good radius. It creates a huge clutter in the area by leaving zombies on the field until they freeze. It's also the best staff for high round gameplay and training if you know how to use it. Overall, it's a good staff for people who get the short end of the stick or just know how to bring out its potential. Also, it's probably the easiest staff to build. You just have to dig up some sites when it's snowing. Entering the top 5 best wonder weapons, we have the wave gun from Moon. This thing is super powerful and unique, and it ties into the map of the moon great. Once you shoot a zombie, they and anyone it attaches to float in the air and they slowly implode. You can also take this gun apart and make it dual wield, which also gives it more ammo. These serve as sort of zap guns in a way, and they're also super powerful as well. The one thing with this gun that is super odd is that you can't get power-ups with it like you can with essentially every other wonder weapon. Number 4 is the original Wonder Waff from Doris. This thing is so overpowered. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but it's true.
Someone cooked here.
And in some situations, you can literally kill an entire horde in one bullet. It also has a lot of ammo and is notorious for being the first ever wonder weapon in zombies, after the ray gun. At number 3, we got another OG wonder weapon. It's the thunder gun. The excitement after getting this gun out of the box is just so immaculate because of how ridiculously big this thing is. You can just be relieved that you got that massive, amazing gun again, and you don't gotta worry about hitting the box. But in all seriousness, this thing is a tank, blowing every zombie away in a far distance, and the ammo does suffice for the power of the gun. Number 2, which is arguably switchable with number 1, is the Apothicon Servant from Black Ops 3. This squid-like gun shoots a literal black hole, sucking in any zombie and killing it immediately, regardless of what round you are on. In Revelations, you can pack-a-punch it, which makes it even better and gives it more ammo. On a non-pack-a-punch Apothicon Servant, the ammo isn't great, but like I said with the Thunder Gun, the amount of power this gun does completely satisfies any demands. The best wonder weapon in COD Zombies is the Lightning Bow. The Lightning Bow is subjectively the best wonder weapon in Zombies. It has a high ammo count, and you can quickly spray it off to kill nearby zombies, as well as a charge shot that has even more effectiveness. This thing is literally broken, and it's so overpowered. It's so good for killing the Panzer, it's great for the Easter egg, and even high round training. Not only that, but it can get you out of almost every situation possible if you're stuck in a corner. It's by far the best bow and just the best wonder weapon. The Apothicon Servant is on its level 2, it's just that it doesn't have as much ammo as the Lightning Bow does, so therefore the Lightning Bow can be used in more settings. The build process for this bow isn't even hard at all either, and I find myself building it before any other bow most of the time. So there it is, every wonder weapon in COD Zombies ranked from worst to first, and I even included Cold War this time. This video probably took me more time than the last one, which is pretty impressive. I love doing these ranking videos, though I would also enjoy doing something else on the channel, like different challenges, or even just laid back gaming videos. Let me know in the comments, but anyways, I will see you all in the next one.